All right, welcome to Tarqaron, everybody. We're here for another monthly movie night. That's
A
right.
monthly movie night, yeah.
It's a series we're doing on the channel where we're alternating picking a movie for us to watch each month. And
hmm
it's been a grand old time. We've done it, for like a month
Yeah.
now? I mean, like 4 months now.
We've done it for a month, about a month. Yeah,
For some reason, I took like four as if we were doing
yeah.
it each week.
For
Um,
a month. We've done it for a month, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we're here to talk about The Handmaiden. It was my choice this time around. And
That's right.
it's a 2016 film. All right, but as always, we don't talk about our thoughts on it going in. Obviously, with the monthly movie nights, usually we can tell that one person at least liked the movie to some
Right.
degree going in. But um, we're gonna give our score out of 10 coming into the review, and then after we discuss, we'll lock in the final score. Right. Three, two, one, flip. 9.
7.5.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on this movie. On the one hand, I love how it was told. I really liked the sort of 3-part sort of structure. Um, I think part 3 is kind of where the movie sort of falls apart a little bit for me, but um,
That's where it's
I
gold for me. Part
no,
3.
no,
Oh, yeah.
no, no, no. That's where the movie falls apart for me. I wouldn't say it like falls apart, but like it does not stick the landing in a way that I felt was satisfying,
Wow.
and we'll get into it. But so the filmmaking, beautiful. Like some of the like it's just a beautifully made movie. Shot composition, cinematography, all of it is lovely to look at. You can tell that the director, who I think he's kind of has a long history in Korea, but Old Boy I think was what he was previously most well known for. Um, Clearly knows the craft extremely well, and I think in terms of its the way the story is told, in terms of its sort of asynchronous sort of and time, it kind of tells the story in one part. There's like some flashback, there's like one flashback in the first part, but then like part 2 is essentially like all a flashback recontextualized from a different point of view, which is cool. I really love that. um and it's just like you never really know where the movie's gonna take you next, and I really like that a lot. It's just like so like gripping. I mean, I can't really think of a better term for it than gripping. Like even though like I said, I wasn't like the biggest fan of part 3, I just felt like I was gripped the whole way through regardless of where it took me, and I I really enjoyed that, and I liked where and I like that. I like the ride. I mean, I think it was just a really interestingly told story, and I think that it worked really well. But I think most of my main criticisms come in terms of spoilers, so I don't want to necessarily get into it. I
Hmm.
will say that I felt like there was some characterization, not like trickery, but like it just sort of went in like it ended up going in more cliche directions in terms of the characterization than I was hoping for, to particularly have some of the twists and turns that happened in part 2. um and I did not I'm extremely torn on the I'm extremely torn on the depiction of sexuality in the movie, because on the one hand the movie is saying one thing, and on the other hand it is talking out of the other side of its mouth and saying the complete and portraying it in the complete opposite direction. And I think that that's kind of disingenuous and weird. And I can't make up my mind if it was doing that to make a point. But the way that the very final scene of the movie makes me feel like it, whatever point it was trying to make, is completely lost. I felt I just it just did not. it didn't land for me at all, and I felt like it was because it was like, yeah, it felt like almost hypocritical in a weird way. I don't know. It was very strange. That being said, the final scene of part two, beautiful. I love that. That was the best scene in the whole movie.
Yeah. Okay. So I love this movie. The only way I was torn was between a 9 and 9.5. Like, I seriously
Yeah.
love this movie. I think it's an all timer. It's one of the favorite movies I watched this year. I watched like 100 movies. I have it like top 5 right now for the year.
Mm.
I just think it's really clever. A lot of the writing is really clever. I love the direction, and I love how it's like 3 different movies almost. And
Yeah,
it gives you
the direction is really good. Yeah,
gives
I
you
mean
different perspective. It's, I mean, I always really like that in film when they like take a scene and then later come back from a different angle, a different perspective, and it adds to that scene more. There's some shades of Parasite in here with like the conspiring that goes on. Even the setup in the beginning when you're introduced to Suki and the count guy, that already
Count
is
Fujiwara.
yeah, that already is shades of Parasite, and that like we're gonna go in,
It's a swindle.
we're gonna get this
scheme.
maid kicked out of her job, and then we're gonna get in there and accept the whole thing. But then it keeps turning it on its head, and so it's cool. It's like, obviously I'll give space for spoilers, but it's really cool the direction they went with it, I think.
I also really wanted to ask you, because I did not realize this until after I watched the movie. There's 2 cuts of this movie.
Mm.
There's a theatrical cut, and then there's an extended cut, and I watched the extended cut.
Okay.
And my understanding is that the director actually kind of prefers the theatrical cut as opposed to the extended cut, because I think they rearranged some of the scenes, and the pacing's a little off, particularly in it's like really elongated in one of the, I don't remember if it's in part 1 or part 2. I didn't really it was kind of hard to like, because no one was really very specific about it. So I'm like, I don't know what got extended. I don't know what scenes got like, because it's significantly longer. It's almost like it's like 20 minutes longer or something. So
I watched the 2-hour 18-minute version, whatever the one that is. The one that was on Prime Video.
The one on Prime Video was an hour and a half, not 2:18. It was more like 2:30.
Oh.
I think. Let me just double check this.
Mm.
It says the one on Prime Video is 138 minutes. It's weird because I felt like I could have swore when I checked the time it said something completely different.
Well, if you watched Prime Video, then you had to have watched that.
I guess so. I guess I had to have. I don't know why the time was all extended. Well, regardless.
So we both watched the theatrical
turns
cut.
out we did watch the theatrical cut. Okay. Well, that's good. Then that's good then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the movie. I think, there's a lot of sexuality at play here. A lot
it's an erotic thriller,
very
for sure. Yeah.
Erotic ass sex scenes. Yeah.
So, and I think that's where, because I thought the first one was great, because that was very like, it was a little bit more reserved. Whereas pretty much every scene after that is just like full blown, like, this is like borderline pornographic at this point. Like and to me, because of a significant theme of the movie that I won't spoil yet, I felt that was like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we going for? Is the intent? No, well, yeah, we'll get into it at some other point. But I do want to say also, before we get any further, the score of this movie was beautiful.
So good, yeah.
Like, the music was incredible in this movie. Really, it just like had you in each moment. It was lovely.
Yeah. I think our main 2 actresses are really great, and
yeah, they're both great.
Obviously, they carry a lot of the scenes. A lot of different, a lot of depth. So, yeah, I think we can go into spoilers now. I'd say overall, I mean, yeah, overall, I love the movie. I love the 3-part structure. I really like, and I love actually how it resolves. I really like the journey we take, and I like how it keeps twisting it, and then you're rehashing older scenes and getting more out of them, and it's really clever. The
Yeah,
writing and how they'll take certain lines, and it's like they seem so genuine in the moment, and then you learn that they stole the line from something else or was rehearsed. So
right,
there's a
right.
lot of fun moments like that.
Yeah, no, I like the particularly because part two in particular is really the main part that does that, that does a lot of the recontextualization. Part three has a little bit, but it's not nearly as much. Um, and yeah, I love it because it didn't just like recontextualize it; it added additional twists along the way too.
Yeah.
And because Act One basically ends with the there's like a I think there's sort of a smaller twist, but there's the one big twist is sort of like, oh geez, that's
Mm-hmm.
how it ends Act One. You're like, whoa, because you can tell throughout all of Act One is like something's off here,
Mm-hmm.
something's wrong, and I can't put my finger on it. But particularly the pacing at the towards the end of that too, the pacing towards the end of Part One is just like it's skipping around. And I'm just like something's going on with that, and like I'm getting there's something weird going on with uh, the lady
Lady
waiting,
Hideko.
the Hideko. And I was like, something's going on with her, and I don't know. I don't know if it's like if she's feigning some madness of some sort or what exactly is going on. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then it's like the big twist happens at the end of part one where it's like, oh, we're fooling you for
Yeah.
some reason. And I'm like, what? Well, hold on, why are we doing that? What's going on with that? That doesn't make any sense.
So yeah, we can go to spoilers now. I mean, so I
Yeah,
love the movie because that yeah, the first act, it's just okay. Suki is tricking Lady Hideko. That's the plot,
right,
right? We're just
right.
her conspiring with Count was it Fujiwara?
Hmm.
Yeah, Count
Yeah,
Fujiwara, and like that's what it is, right? Like they're just conspiring, and we're seeing how it's unfolding, and then they spin it completely. No, actually, she's the one getting tricked by them. And then the
right,
third act, it becomes those two are tricking him. So
right.
I just like that a
Right,
lot.
right. They did it. It is the all the way there. I to me, it sort of so okay. Yeah, I really like that. Well, because especially because with part one, it's like, oh, uh, she's falling for Hideko, even though
Hmm.
she's trying to like scam her, and it's like that's causing some issues because it's like
Right.
she's falling in love with her, and it's like she can't like come to terms with we can't like ruin her life. That's horrible. And it's like, but she's still kind of like still going through it because it's like, well, I can still get
Yeah.
a good life out of this. And then it turns out it's like, well, the reason that you're falling in love with her is because she's also falling in love with you, which is what you learn in the
Right.
first part,
Well, yeah. Once the
or it's
first,
that part two,
yeah, once that
at the
first
end of
part
part two.
ends, and it's like, oh, the twists. She's the one going getting stuck in the mental hospital. Then it's suddenly
Yeah,
like, oh shoot. Then we're going back to the other scenes. Like, was she faking it the whole time? Like all these intimate moments. So
yeah,
that's like what you immediately think is like, man, she was just taking
right.
advantage of her all along. But then you learn, no, actually, and then it all
She was
culminates
into it.
in
Yeah,
the scheme that they had crafted together. So I
right.
think it's clever, and I just love the writing and the callbacks, and because there were genuine moments where like, man, that was really, really heartfelt. And you
Yeah,
feel that in the moment, and then it's later, it's like, oh, just line for line, reciting something they plan to recite, stuff like
right,
that.
right. It's
Yes.
cool.
So you have
Um,
the perv uncle. All right, you got a.
Yeah, he's a horrible
He's
person.
horrible. Yeah.
He's like the worst person in the world.
Yep.
Like straight up abusing his niece, like sexually abusing his niece from when she was like a little kid by making her read horrible. I mean, like the thing is like a lot of that stuff to the right audience is like it's whatever. It's like they're old men. They can get off to whatever they want. This is like the pornography of the time, right? It's
Uh
like
huh.
okay, but having her like abusing her to the degree of like making her have to talk about that stuff when she's like a literal
Yes.
child is vile. It's vile. And I hate that. I hate him. I
Well,
hate him from the get-go
and
there. As soon as we learn that.
that's why I really love how it culminates in the third act, because I think it builds up this resentment for this guy. You want him to get his just desserts, you know, and so then it culminates into the library
Right,
scene where everything's like, fuck all this shit, you know.
right. Well, yeah, and that scene's great. That scene's great. To me, it's like you sort of lose me a little bit when it's like, oh, also this guy that we were scheming with, yeah, he's just gonna try to rape you now.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well,
why did we have to, like, to me it's like, oh, okay, so just there's no good men in this movie. Okay,
right. Well,
so it falls back on an extremely tired trope that I just hate. And it's like, in order to build up a sapphic relationship, it's like all men have to be like shit. And to me, it was more compelling when it was almost like he was realizing that they're falling in love with each other and like kind of stepping aside from it. When we can contextualize the scene of, like, I think this is in part 3, but it's like their wedding night scene where they're consummating, but it's just her masturbating, and Suki can hear her. And he gets completely denied, and it's like almost him having to like accept that like there's nothing's gonna happen here. But then it's like you get to the scene in the hotel, and he's like, yeah, well, I'm just gonna try to rape you anyway. And it's like, I just was like that. I didn't like that. I didn't really. It just felt like they had already come to like an agreement to like ruin her life. And I get that we have to. It's fun to get the two of them duping him, but I felt that it came completely at the expense of his character, which would have been more compelling that he'd made if he'd made a more, I don't know, a more open sacrifice, like in the sense that maybe the uncle finds out that the two women are together and he's covering up for it, and then that's why he brings him in and starts chopping his fingers off, which that scene's also great. Horrible, but great. So tense. It's so like I said, that actor's great, by the way. He just exudes skeeve. He just exudes perv. He's such a monster.
He just loves people telling him sexual stories too. He just loves that.
He just loves it. Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree that it's like character assassination on the Count Fujiwara, because I think early on they established that he's a scummy guy. At the end of part 1, we think, okay, Lady Hideko is a piece of shit as well, because they both openly just ruined this girl's life and sent her into a mental hospital. He actually wanted to do that, and the difference was she didn't. It was just a scheme. So we established early on, it's not a likable guy. He was down with just using her to get what he wanted, and he even tells Lady Hideko, it's all about the money. I just want your money.
That's true, but Hideko is the one that comes up with the idea to dupe. Like, we'll throw someone, like, he's like, how are we gonna figure this out? How are we gonna arrange it? And then she's the one that comes up with the idea. We'll have somebody take my place and go to the mental institution. But she doesn't really pay for that. It's him that pays for that. It's the guy that pays for that, for that idea and that decision. But
she changed her mind. He didn't. He was all in.
Yeah.
She changed her mind.
She changed her mind, but didn't tell him that she changed her mind, basically.
Right, it doesn't change. It's still scummy. The difference is they both would have been deplorable. Yeah, in this instance, she stepped back from a deplorable act and at the cost of him, but actually cared about the person. Yeah, at the cost of him. He already did the shit though.
So did she. That's the thing. She did too. She just changes her mind. She just changes her mind and doesn't tell him.
Yeah, but
so
you
it's like,
well,
he can get fucked, I guess. And it's, I don't.
She's had it a lot harder than he's ever had.
Oh, she's had it pretty hard. Yes, I'm not discounting that at all.
That I think informs a little bit, but then she has more compassion in the end. You know, it's not like.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I wanted to get into there too. Is that like she this is what I mean, where it's like it's kind of this weird have your cake and eat it too, because it's like, while okay, so first of all, it doubles down on the trope that like all sexually abused women are like, if they're sexually abused by men, they'll turn to women. That's like a trope in a lot of like lesbian stuff, where it's like you're sexually abused by men, you're not going to be interested in men, but you'll be interested in women. So it's turning into that, kind of leans into that sort of trope. But then
I don't think
the
so.
scenes, but then I think it does. The scenes then also with the sex scenes are just like, they're extremely like male gaze. I mean, like, I know I know girls do actually scissor. I know that's a thing. I know a lot of people will make stuff up about it, say like, oh, lesbians don't actually do that. They do, but
Hmm.
it's like it's not as common as pornography makes you think it is, because that doesn't actually stimulate anything. It's just two labia rubbing against each other. That's not doing anything to stimulate them. Usually, it's more of a that's more of a mind thing. But the problem with that is that like it's just this it's extremely like, oh, this is and this is where I'm torn, because it's like, is the movie trying to make, because it's making me very uncomfortable. It makes me tremendously uncomfortable to watch this.
Hmm.
And normally that's not, that wouldn't be the that wouldn't be what I'm getting out of it. So is it almost saying that, like, holding up a mirror and being like, you should feel as uncomfortable about this as you do about those men that have sexually abused this girl, to make her have to be mindful of all these things that she had no business, having being groomed from a young age to say all these lewd and horrible things to them, and stories and everything. And then the last scene is just like, it's literally just like one of the like just a recreation of one of the stories that she was telling.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
I don't see
what?
it that way. I see it as them just kind of actually discovering their sexuality, because everything they've been presented a certain thing. They've been, especially Lady Hideko has been forced into just reading these stories to everybody. All these old
Right,
guys never really had a chance to understand sexuality herself. So she finds this
right.
person she has an intimate connection with, and we're seeing that. So it actually didn't make me uncomfortable. Only uncomfortable in the sense that, like, I gotta make sure no one's behind me while I'm watching this, because they'll think
Hey, this
I'm
is not
watching.
this is not a movie to watch with your parents. That's
Yeah,
for sure. Can you
but
imagine? I'm glad. I kind of thought it was like, this is an erotic thriller. It's like, maybe I'm gonna watch this just by myself tonight. And I was like, I think I made the right choice.
I actually love the final scene because I see it as like reclamation moment. You know, it's like
I don't see
I
it
think
that
that's what
way.
it's
I
meant
don't. It
to be
just. I
too.
think. I think that might be what it's meant to be, but to me, it's just like. And then they're just okay. They're just doing like one of the acts in one of the stories that she
Right,
described,
because they're like
which is which is
now they're not doing it for someone else's enjoyment. Now they're doing it for each other. So,
except for the audience that's watching
well,
it.
right, but that's just
But
if you just
yeah, well,
disagree with
so you see,
sex scenes like that in general. Yeah, that's a different story.
well,
But
no, but what I'm saying is that is extremely like, that feels very hypocritical to me. That does not feel like it's reclaiming it at all. It feels like, if they're reclaiming it, they wouldn't. Why would you be thinking about all of the pornographic stuff that you had to like also had to like show, like, in some, there's like that weird thing with a doll, so it's like you also had to do weird sexual acts in front of the men that were there
mhm.
to hear the reading. So it's like, why would you then interact with this thing that should be, theoretically, should have some trauma associated with it? It's like, no, okay, with the one sex scene, it's like they're also doing they're I don't remember the exact act. They're both eating each other out, but there's a scene where she describes that too. That's like another thing. It's a woman. It's a lesbian scene that she's reading,
Mhm.
and that's a whole thing. So it's like her just doing that because it's like something she learned about. It's performative. I can kind
Mhm.
of accept it for that, because it's like she's just doing what she'd already heard about in regards to that. But it's like, at the end, it feels it feels like a regression back to like, oh, we're just falling back into, like, it feels more like, oh, we're falling back into the stuff that we liberated you from, and it's like, okay, well, now we're gonna go back and do it again, though. I mean, yes, it's just between us, but also we, the audience, are watching it too.
Right, but if you're looking as the film as a plot, we're watching a lot of things we shouldn't be seeing. They're having intimate moments. That's not like, okay, but we're doing it for the viewer. Like, if we're viewing it from the character's perspective, I think it's a great reclamation moment, honestly, because
I just don't agree.
I mean, I don't think it's fair to be like, you've been taken advantage of growing up, and you've been forced to read these stories, but now you can only, explore your sexuality a certain way. If they're exploring it fully, then
it's not necessarily saying that you can't do that, but it's like, why does it necessarily have to be in the way that we've liberated you from? Like that's where it feels like,
if you put yourself in their head,
it just doesn't feel right.
It might just be a conscious choice. If we take it in earnest, we're not like, these characters make this choice. I could see a world where someone could be like, fuck you to these old guys who took advantage of me all these years, and I'm gonna reclaim this thing. I'm gonna use this damn thing that they've been. I just think it's impactful for me. I think it works as like, it's an FU, and at the same time we're doing what we want, and that's the whole third act, is like, fuck you to these guys.
Even though the guy didn't, they made the plan to screw him over before he turned out that he was actually a rapist. So
right, but they
thought he was a schemer, even though she was also a schemer.
Well, Suki was already like, fuck that son of a bitch, because he was taking advantage of me the whole time and was about to ditch me at this mental hospital. Yeah. And then it just
though she was too.
But she didn't. She quickly didn't intend to.
Yeah. Okay.
That guy, he's just a scummy guy. He got, for as much as he at least got his in the end. Yeah. You want to say he deserves something? He got a little moment.
He did get a little moment. That's good. Good for him. They both went out.
This whole damn cigarette thing he'd been doing had some payoff.
Yeah.
That was kind of clever, actually, how they set that up too.
That actually was.
Because it's like, man, he really wants to swim. He's got three. He's popping three in at once.
Yeah.
But really,
that's why that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's also why that scene worked for me, because it's like, man, that worked super well, because it's like, they've been setting up this whole cigarette thing the whole time, and
then he did three at once, and they're like, man, that's overkill, don't you think? But it was really just to set up so that he would give him that one. Yeah, and I'm like, blue cigarette. What were you doing with this? Yeah. I like it. I mean, I loved this film, and I think.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'd say overall, I think it was.
I get it's not for everybody. If you don't want a lot of sex scenes, Hey,
look, Honora had a lot of sex scenes.
Yeah,
Honora had a lot of sex scenes too.
It did.
And I love that movie.
And what does that say about you? You think?
I hate sapphic love. Apparently, that's the thing that you can.
So
no, I don't know. I just like. I felt like there was a different way that you could have potentially gone about it that would have still had the same message.
Well, I'm saying, I acknowledge that some people will not like that.
Yeah.
I loved that. No, I'm saying it was very artistically, beautifully shot, honestly. Yeah. So I'm like, really damn sexy shots they got going on here.
To quote Giguk, it's gay girls, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's just basically what that can sum up the movie.
It's an empowering lesbian movie. I mean, come on. I will say, I saw Honora in theaters a second time. Right after the movie ends, this older lady was like, "Man, that was a lot of sex, wasn't it?"
Oh no, you don't say that. You don't say anything when that movie ends. That movie ends on such a downer note.
Well, it was like on our way out as we're walking out.
I was like, oh, there's a lot of sex.
Like,
in the
that's
movie.
just a lot of sex. Best picture. I don't know about that. So, I mean, it just works for
No,
some people and it doesn't work for others.
yeah. Well, I saw. I trying to remember because I saw there was like 5 other people in the theater, and there was like 2 older ladies. They're probably in their 60s, and I don't know. They laughed at all the right parts. Like they seemed to enjoy it. And yeah, when the movie ended, it was very much like a movie theater's quiet. You let that sit, and then everyone just kind of got up and edited out. I feel like one of them might have said something to the other. I don't remember, but yeah.
But I think this was a beautiful film. There's a lot of specific scenes that really work for me. I love the scene where Lady Hideko tries to hang herself.
Oh, I was going to highlight that too. That's probably number 2. I love that scene as well. Again, beautiful shot composition. This movie looks gorgeous all the time.
And even just the shot of her like going to hang herself, and it's cropped perfectly to where then you just go down and it's like she caught her. And I love when she's like, that son of a bitch, and just lets her hang for a little bit. Oh, shit, sorry. But I mean, there's just interesting twists in around every corner.
There are a lot of well, that to me is kind of what makes the movie so engaging. Like I said, it was very gripping. Because you didn't really after that first major twist, you have no idea where it's going after that. It's just like, and then it's just like we get a big flashback, and it's like, oh, and now this little girl is reading like pornographic material. I was like, this is awful. I was like, this is horrible. This is a terrible situation that we're in right now. So
yeah, and so I mean, it's got everything. Like you got not only the girls they find their love in the end, but they also get their revenge on these guys who did them wrong, and it's just.
So I also wonder if there's some commentary here also about the because this takes place during the Japanese occupation of Korea, and it is like Japanese pornographic literature or like lewd literature and art that is corrupting these Korean women. So I'm wondering if there's like some commentary there about something. Like I was almost trying to see if there was something about that. But to me, the most beautiful scene in the movie is the library destruction, because it's like, I'm going to destroy everything that's oppressed you and like held you back and perverted your entire existence because I love you. And I'm like that. I was like, that's a great scene. That's a beautiful scene right there.
Yeah.
So
at least I will die with my cock intact.
Yeah, it's classic. It's a classic line. I mean, you're
I actually and also part of why I love the ending as well with the bells is because it's just a nice filmmaking technique. how we transition from we transition from the bells
to like the moon.
It's just in the background the sound of the bells, and it's like beautiful, and it's like
also the moon, perfect. That's like sapphic love. That's like a whole thing. It's like we really focus on a moon. It's like, oh, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, there was so much in this movie that,
weird,
especially early on, was very much shades. I love it. I love it. The shades of Parasite really early on. I'm like, man, are they just like amazing Korean films? They just love doing like this like
the scheme.
I don't know. But anything else for The Handmaiden?
No, I think it's about it. I mean, like I said, I'm torn. This is why I'm torn on it, because like to me, if the point, I just couldn't really figure out what, like, because I want to be charitable to the interpretation of the film that you're giving it, but to me it was like the way it was shot is just, it was too much in the other direction for me to have to come across it that way. For me to feel as charitable as that. But at the same time, if it is also supposed to be making me uncomfortable as like a mirror back at it's like, oh, this is like, you are like the man watching this, like the audience was watching this. Like, if it's supposed to feel like that to me, it's like, that's an interesting idea too. But I don't know if the film is trying to be clever enough to say that.
I don't know. But I do know it's a
I feel
movie where these two girls fall in love and they're
I feel like I
badass
need to.
and they
I feel like I need to watch. I feel like I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I would want to watch it again. Honestly, I enjoyed it enough that I would like to watch it. Yeah, I don't know. So,
but at the heart of it, it's two girls who were initially trying to scheme against each other, unbeknownst to one another, and then fall in love, and then have this fun redemption, revenge tour before ultimately living happily ever after and reclaiming what's theirs. That's how I see it. And even for that alone, I think it's a solid film. And there's just a lot more you can glean from it along the way, and you can take away a lot from different scenes. And like I said, I love because it really takes a solid, tight screenplay to be able to pull off when you get to the end of part one, and it completely recontextualizes everything, and then you go back to those same scenes from different angles. Like they had to already have all that planned, and it's very cleverly written.
To me, I'm almost wondering if it's like how much of that was that feels almost boarded to me, like storyboarded. Like I almost feel like some of that may have had to have been worked that way too.
That stuff is complicated to do.
And like I said, the way it doled out information, thumbs up on that. Like it was great. I mean, that's why it was such a gripping film to watch.
Right. It just gives you a little bit at a time, and it keeps you compelled. All right, well, let's do final score. 3, 2, 1, flip. 9.5.
I came up to an 8.
Fuck it. Love.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want my hangups on the movie to take away from what is a very well made movie at the end of the day. So not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. An 8 is not bad. You bad.
It used to be studied. Some of this, we're gonna go back and look at some of those things you give a 9, and give a fine look of criticism at that. Tarqaron score 8.75. All right.
I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's in a pretty top shelf league right there.
Yeah, I don't know. It just it's one of those movies where as soon as I was done watching it, I'm like, man, that is an amazing film. A lot of times I watch a movie and I'm like, I don't know if I like this or that. But this one, like, just immediately quality. I felt just quality, and then once I sat with it, it's been like, I think it was early this year I watched it the first time. So then
it's like March or April again, or something.
Yeah, watching again, and I'm like, yeah, I still appreciate that, and even more, I felt like I appreciated.
Yeah,
we'll be back next month for another. I mean, we've got a bunch of movie reviews coming up next month, but there also will be Alex's choice for next month.
As well, be my choice. My choice.
I was trying to think of what's a really sexual movie, and like, you better not pick this movie. What's the movie that's got the most sex?
We're gonna watch Porky's. Zach.
What's the non-pornographic film that has the most sex in it? I wonder, is that a known thing?
Oh, I'm sure somebody has documented, no doubt. Well, that's why I joked about Porky's, because that's got a lot of like sex and nudity and stuff in it. It's like an old boner comedy from like the 70s.
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has cock.
Yeah,
straight cock swinging.
It's got a dick in that one. I know. I remember. Yeah, that's it. Even in the first, it's in the first season, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
It's there. It is there.
Yeah, because all I watched is the first season. So
all you watched is the cock scenes. So I'm pretty sure there were season ones.
That's all I watched. I'm pretty sure they were in season 1. Yeah, all of them.
Like, that's all I watched. That looks like a season 1 cock. It gives me a vibe.
Look at that. Look at that. That's a dong right there. Look at that. Look at that dong action.
Yeah. All right. Well,
yeah.
That's
all right. Well, what should the viewers watch
this
next?
Had a better ending than Game of Thrones. This movie.
I don't doubt that for a second.
All right, I'm going to recommend a random Tarqaron video for you to check out next.
All right, random rules.
If you enjoyed this video, why don't you go check out our review of Marvel's What If? Season 1.
Wow, okay. All right, season 1. Yeah, it ended up being season 1.
I remember
I
it
guess
well.
there's like three damn seasons of that show now,
Yeah.
apparently. I've not watched anymore because I don't care.
All right. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment with your thoughts. And until next time, take care.
All right.